What is up, epic people of the internet? My name is Nate, and welcome to my video discussing the flaws of the current rank system in Foxhole and my suggestions for a new system. As a disclaimer for this video, this is just a discussion and not a jab at any players who utilize the flaws in the system discussed, as I myself utilized some of them as well. First, let's point out the flaws with the commend rank up system. Commends are very inconsistent. Okay, sure, there are plenty of people who give out commends, but not everyone commends other players. Commends are typically just traded or given to friends, which gives players who play in large groups an unfair advantage in the rank up system. This typically causes one problem. It makes higher ranking players who traded for commends to have less experience, and then believe since they have a higher rank than you, they can shout orders, even though you have a higher level and more playtime than them. Getting commends from unknown players is all dependent on who is currently on the server. For instance, one day I'll deliver a truckload of supplies and get a couple of commends. Great, I think. Then the next day I'll go on the same server and deliver 5 truckloads of supplies without a single commend. It is all too subjective to people playing at the time. There's currently no established basis on what players should be commended for. Another example, I have a couple of friends that fended off a 10-man attack at a town hall deep within friendly territory. A 10 versus 2 victory seems like a commendable act in my mind, especially when the soldiers looted were armed with satchel charges to destroy the town hall. However, since they were deep within friendly territory, no other allies were nearby to commend them. Even after reporting to the team in the chat, no commends were sent. This is just another example of how a better way of commending people needs to be implemented into Foxhole. Alright, time for suggestions. I've thought about the rank system a bunch and how to change it. So my first change would be, first, the rank should not be based on the amount of commends you received. While I don't want to get rid of commends, I think they should stay in the game, but be used as sort of like a thank you mechanism, and collected to unlock player skins or some sort of non-game changing reward for being a team player. The more commends you get, the more customized you can make your player, and of course this wouldn't be anything that would change the gameplay aspect of the game. The current number, rank, and XP system should stay in place. This level number has been a more consistent way of measuring a player's skill and teamwork, since a large amount of XP is given to events that help the team. Here is where the system really changes in my suggestion. Similar to the Red Orchestra rank of command, there needs to be a rank of command established in each Foxhole server. Each Foxhole server should have a set number of officer slots that players can join in order to provide the team with different benefits. Obviously there would be a limited amount of slots, making the chain of command more prevalent in the game, making organizing offensive and defenses easier. Currently, the chain of command basically doesn't exist in Foxhole. It's just a lot of people yelling in chat, trying to get people to bring stuff here or there, without much organization. So my suggestion would be the implementation of 9 officer slots. 6 of these slots would be for coalition leaders. These players would be similar to the current role played by the coalition leaders in Foxhole now. They would be able to mark objectives on the map and provide leadership for those fighting on the front lines and under their command. Players would join their coalition just like the current system. The next 2 slots would be for logistic leaders. This would allow for 2 players to establish teams to run logistic routes. They would be able to place markers on the map stating where resources are needed and what type of resources are needed at that location. This role would really be to keep logistics focused and provide the right supplies where they are needed on the map. The final officer slot would be the commander slot. This would be more of a passive command role than the other officer roles. The commander's job would be to keep in contact with all other officers and to provide support for the team. Just like any other officer, the commander can place markers on the map. The commander would be able to mark safe territories and travel routes for the reinforcements and supplies to be delivered to the front. They would keep up-to-date supply counts of materials at each operation location so that the logistic leaders can supply more efficiently. Implementing some sort of recon plane that the commander can call in around coalition leaders' positions could be a commander ability as well. I think this ability would need to be worked in very carefully so that it wouldn't become overpowered. It needs some sort of cooldown time to be less overpowered. All officers will be able to give out additional commends, more than normal players, to the people underneath their command who follow orders and help take objectives. To make it easier, officers would have highlighted usernames so players know to follow the directions of these officers, providing a more organized fighting and supplying force. This system would also help new players. I see a lot of new players come into the game and ask, how do I play the game? Sure, these new players can go watch a tutorial video and figure out what to do. But I feel like a lot of players will get bored before they get to the tutorial video part. However, having established command and direction for these new players that join the game is a much better way to learn the game and keep people interested. It's really hard for people to go watch a YouTube video when they just want to play a game. So this would keep players from quitting the game, keep them focused on what they need to do in the game, allowing for them to gain experience and gain interest in the game, building the community around Foxhole. Of course, all that is described in the roles that we just talked about can already be organized in the game currently, but just in a less efficient way. People are already filling these roles, but however, a lot of these players who are trying to fill these roles just don't get the support from the squad members that they need. This chain of command system will give those people willing to lead the army a bigger voice so that players will actually follow their objectives. Well, that wraps up my current suggestions for the rank system in Foxhole. I'm sure I'll have more different thoughts as the game progresses in development. I also do realize that there are some flaws in my suggested system, so please leave comments and feedback down below. What would you change or add to my system? Or do you have a totally different system that just blows mine out of the water? Let me know down below. Let's get a good discussion going here about this topic. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to punch that like button and subscribe to this channel for more Foxhole content. Thanks for watching. My name is Nate, and I will see you all on the battlefield of Foxhole. What is up, epic people of the internet? My name is Nate, and I hear you need to get on the battlefield of Foxhole in less than 8 minutes. You've come to the right place. Let's make a soldier out of you. When you jump into the world of Foxhole, you'll start in the middle of nowhere with a pistol and a hammer. Pretty straightforward stuff. Pistols make people die, and you hit shit with hammers. Rotate your view by holding middle mouse